Hey guys, welcome back to Skylanders Ring of Heroes. Now this video is going to be sort of part 2 of my beginner's guide, which is the sort of units you want to focus on for progression to be able to progress as quickly as possible. I haven't tested everything. This is just the strategy I used on 2 of my accounts, and I found it worked very well. There are some other ideas that I have for progressions, which I'll talk about at the end, but I haven't tested them, so I can't confirm them. This progression will focus mainly on Tough Luck, who did get a nerf, but is still viable. I'll talk a bit more about that later on. Just a quick recap on the last video. Key things to help your progression really early. Get into Arena as soon as it opens and spam those arena matches just in the normal arena, just to get the rewards from the missions that are down here in Duels. There's rewards for winning 10 and 20 times in the arena, and they are crates of runes, which are really handy. On top of that, you get some of those from the quests as well, and also from scenario 3 on easy mode. If you get all the stars on that, you get the crate. Runes are really big early on, and some of them are only 3-star crates, but just being able to have, basically be able to start off with full 3-star runes on your units is very helpful. So that's just that little recap tip. So the basic units you're going to want to start with for your this is a free-to-play progression. I'll talk more about Nat 5s at the end, but free-to-play, it's going to be until you clear part 1 of the quests, you're going to want to be using Hot Dog, Stealth Elf, and Blades. Those 3, they just work. They give you free fragments for them a lot. If you look over here, obviously Stealth Elf, you get 400 and something from just doing part 1 of the quest. The others, you get fragments for them. You can see Hot Dog here, Blades there, and so on, and you get lots of free shards for those guys, so they're easy to power up, and you don't actually have to farm too much for them to get them powered up to a decent level. That's the great thing about them. Once you clear that and clear part 1 of the quest, you will get given an Enigma. So Enigma is a fantastic unit, and he will be your replacement after that. Fantastic unit, great support. Now I'll quickly touch on the team and sort of the skills that you'll be using with them, just as a brief overline for this beginning part. So Hot Dog's fairly basic. He only has the 2 skills, and I haven't logged in on this account on this phone in a while, so it's giving me tutorials. But yeah, he's got the attack buff on skill 1 and the heal on skill 2, and an accuracy leader skill. Pretty standard. His heal does scale off attack, so I sort of mix mine between having attack and HP or defense on those 2 runes, just because I don't want to go full attack because then he gets too squishy, but I don't want to go full HP or defense because then he doesn't heal as much. So I just sort of split him up like that. Then we jump into Blades. Blades is basically just a tank, so you just put him on defense and HP, and that's pretty much all there is. He really likes dodge because his passive works with dodge, so his skills all relate to that. Well, this skill, when awakened, will be that he gains evasion up, and then his passive is when he does evade, he revenges. So he's the same as well. You just throw him in there. He's only got 2 attacks to use. Stealth Elf has 3 attacks. These Poison Spore, Blade Slash, and Stealth. I'd switch it up depending on the content. Just if you're struggling with something, maybe swapping the abilities around might help. So the good thing about this skill 2 is that when it crits, it does an AoE after the single target attack. Stealth increases your crit rate and evasion by 50%. So if you want to combine, you can do the Stealth with Blade Slash, and then you got more chance to crit and proc the AoE. The thing with Stealth is if you get hit by an AoE attack yourself, it will break you out of Stealth. So you want to time it so that you're using Stealth and then Blade Slash straight after, otherwise you lose that effectiveness. But the standard build I normally go with is just Poison Spore and Blade Slash. Just gets more damage out there and just keeps it coming around. So that's what I use for Stealth Elf. For runes, just try and get her on a strike set, and then it's basically just attack, defense, and attack is going to be one your rune build will want to be for her. Fairly basic. And then the final one is Enigma. His runes, you just want him tanky as well, so you're just going to aim for HP and defense on the 3 slots that can have different stats. His skills, he's got a great support kit. His skill 3 is an AoE that does accuracy up and effect accuracy up. It's not that great. I don't like it at all, really. Maybe, I don't know if it has a good multiplier. If I built him for damage, it might work, but that's not where you use him. He's passive. Every 6 times he attacks, he gains stealth. You'll see this very rarely. He gains stealth to the unit with the highest attack. Synergizes real well with the stealth elf, but you don't normally get that far into it to have him having 6 attacks, because you're using his first and second skill, which both have a 24-second cooldown. But the amazing thing is they both have a 1 mana cost. So mana efficiency is huge in this game, and having 2 1 mana cost skills is amazing, because it leaves the rest of the mana for your other units to burn. This one just attacks and grants attack up to your ally with the highest attack, which is awesome. This one fires a laser and puts Bless on the ally with the highest attack for 1 turn, and Bless is basically an invincibility for 1 turn. So basically, when you're playing through with Hot Dog, Stealth Elf, and Enigma, this will be key to your Stealth Elf, giving her more damage and keeping her alive longer. So that's the basics behind that early game team. As you progress a bit further, these guys can pretty much carry you up to, they can 3-star B6, Beast Dungeon 6, just in case people are very new and they don't know what I'm talking about. When we talk about B6, we talk about the Beast Dungeon, level 6, and this is your rune dungeon. This is the easier rune dungeon to farm, so it's normally the first one you'll be entering, and that's where you really want to progress to. I wouldn't bother with progression in farming B5. You can start to get 5-star runes from B5, but the drop rate is so low that it's just not worth it. You're better off leveling your units and farming shards and then jumping into B6 straight after, because the drop rates are just a lot better in B6. Even the 4-star drop rates are better when you get a lot of 3 stars in B5. So if you're thinking about farming B5, there's a quest eventually that you'll get to that says you need to power up a 5-star rune 3 times. Don't stress too much about progressing through that quest until you can do B6 would be my tip, because I've seen a lot of people waste a lot of time and in-game energy on that B5 and not get their 5-star rune. So just a big thing to consider is, yes, runes are very important, but real early game, another really important factor is the level of your Skylanders, because as they level, they gain stats, and if you've got a sort of a Stealth Elf, say yours is 4-star or 5-star, you can get Stealth Elf to 5-star very early because of all the free fragments you get. You've just got to farm those evolution materials. But getting her from at level cap is 60 at 5-star. Say if she's at just that 51, 52, getting her to 60 will change the damage a lot. So that's a big key. If you're struggling at any point in that early progression, remember, just go farm some fragments and level. And when we talk about farming fragments, the next unit you're going to want to build in the game is going to be Tough Luck. Now, she used to be also available from normal mode on Scenario 1. She's not anymore, which really sucks, because it means you're getting less experience when you're farming her, but you will be able to farm her really quick and from the very start. Now, she is the unit that I'm recommending to farm. I've used her on 2 of my accounts already, and she works very well. As you can see, I've still got mine built on this account, but she is fantastic. She did get a nerf. Her basically all 1, 2, and 3 stars got an attack power nerf a while back. Not a big issue at all. The big problem for her is, this is another thing, you really need her to be awakened, because when you get awakened, you basically power up a skill, and this one happens to her first skill, which gives her a diminish, which is a bleed, a damage over time, ticks on anyone's turn. So this used to be 5 turns, and when it got nerfed to 3 turns, it was a big nerf, because when you couple that with her second skill, which attacks an enemy, both of these skills do decent damage, but this one attacks an enemy and 50% chance to heal herself if the enemy has a debuff. So when you used to have 5 turns of that debuff, it used to have a greater room for error in the AI. But now you've got to close that gap. And the other thing is, it used to be a 100% chance to heal. Now it's only a 50% chance to heal. So she did get a big nerf, but she's still a fantastic unit. She still works. I still farm B7 with her in this account, and I still farm B8 with her solo on my other account. On this account, I use Stealth Elf in the team as well. But yeah, B8 on my other account, but that's got full 6-star runes. But we'll talk about getting the level of runes as we go on through this. So the tough luck, you really want to, when you're farming her, I suggest I know I said you need her awakened to get the benefit, but she really wants to be 6-star to be useful. And I use this strategy with almost every unit that I do farm. If I'm intending to get them to 6-star, what I will do is I won't awaken them until after I've 6-starred them. Just because then you can keep farming the shards and you won't have hit level cap. Whereas if you had, say I had this tough luck at 5-star and then I farmed her till I got the 300 shards to awaken. It's 300 shards to awaken any unit in the game. So if I farmed her until I had 300 shards at 5-star, she'd probably be almost max level. So max level for 5-star. If I then awaken her, I have to farm all those shards and she's already at level cap, but she's the one I really want to build. So what I do is I will actually 6-star her first, even though she isn't effective, because all I'm going to do until I 6-star and awaken her is farm. So that's what I'll do. 6-star first, then awaken. I wouldn't worry about the +1, +2, +3, especially with 1 and 2-star units, and maybe also 3-star units. 1 and 2 stars, you get so many of them through like Wishstone summons and all random stuff like that, that it's just not that important to power them up to +5 once they are 6-star, because you'll eventually do it without even trying. As you can see, mine here has... Ooh, I've just gotten her. I haven't played this count in a while, but yeah, I've got her to +3, but I didn't farm a single shard on her after I got to 6-star. So the other thing about it is the Omni Gems. Feel free on the 1s and 2 stars even, just throw the Omni Gems at whatever unit you are focusing on. This one would be tough luck, so I'd focus on throwing those into her. And basically that's the strategy for progression up to B8. So you will get her 6-star and awaken, throw some runes on her, and then you'll want to farm. So if we check out the runes on mine, she's got decent runes. Now, I did sacrifice some sets just to put some 6-star runes that I got recently on this account, just to sort of just basically give her more tankiness. I really wanted these 2 6-star runes on her just to help her live. Then she's also got this one, which is a 6-star, but then she's got a 5 and a 4-star here, and another 5-star here. With the runes, I power up 4 stars to +9 and 5 stars to +12, and then 6 stars eventually I will get to 15. That's the basic idea behind it, and that's where we go with. So as we progress forward, so we've gone through that first part of the quest with Stealth Elf, Hofdog, and Blades. We swapped Blades for Enigma, and then we progressed pretty far, probably up to B6. And then we're farming for the tough luck. You don't actually have to get to B6 before you farm tough luck. You can farm her whenever you want. It's basically whenever you hit roadblock, I'd go back, farm shards, farm experience, and do that. So now that you've got that tough luck, it's time to look into B7. So B7, the team you're going to want to use when you're jumping into there is going to be, and at the end of the video, sorry, because I know it gets a bit confusing, I'll make like a slideshow with images of like, to clear this, use these 3, I'll have their pictures, and I'll have what stars I reckon they need and stuff like that, just to make it easier. I'll do a big summary at the end. But yeah, so when you go into B7, what you're going to want to do is then your team is going to want to look something like this. For the 3-star, to 3-star it, you'll want to actually have Blades do nothing, have Stealth Elf. I use the stealth skill in this one just so she can dodge damage if she has to, and then that way tough luck's taking the damage. You can use her skill 1 into skill 2 to heal up. Another thing is you'll really want a 4-star Broccoli Guy. Broccoli Guy is key in all this, just the heal and the defense buff. So sorry I'm dancing around a bit, but I just want to look at this Broccoli Guy and just show you the skill ups that you really want. So I put this on. I've done the 5 skill ups. I really want to get to the regen. I haven't got the stones to do that yet, but that's where I want to be at, is the regen. But 4-star at least for B7 is what you want. Once you move into B8, I can't do B8 on this account reliably yet. You'll probably want to have 5 or 6 star on the Broccoli guy. So he's another very important unit in the team just because he does provide that heal. On my main account where my Broccoli guy is 6 star, he can quite comfortably keep my Tough Luck alive on B8. My Tough Luck is a lot better on that account. But he can basically keep her alive without the need for her heal to proc. So Broccoli guy, very important. But like I said, in B7, you're just going to want to use that the first time. Don't even use a skill on Blades to 3-star it, because Blades is just a waste. I'd almost even drop the Blades for the 3-star run, just because if he does get glanced, he will revenge, and it basically slows the run down because he's got his revenge animation. So for the actual 3-star, I'd almost go with just no Blades. Like I said, you can put him in. It's not the end of the world, but just these two. Stealth Elf can hide, use her second skill whenever you feel like she'll be right, and then basically the rest of the focus is on the Tough Luck. She just uses skill 1 into skill 2, and that's basically it to heal up. Then obviously once you get better runes, you can just put it on full auto. Like I can use these two on full auto. The team runs fine, clears it, no worries at all. So then, but once you do first get your 3-star, if you're doing the manual strategy because your Tough Luck and Stealth Elf aren't good enough, once you have 3-started, you can actually put the Blades back in. It doesn't matter if the other two die. A 5-star Blades with some decent 4-star runes should be able to basically solo the boss. The only thing is he will want to be Awakened, just that extra little stat boost. I feel like 5-star Awakened is where he wants to be to do the solo, really. And it also gives him the evasion buff on his skill 1. So that's where he wants to be. And he can actually just solo it. I did make a Blade solo B7 video if you want to check that out. But where I did some testing with stats and took basically 3 runes off of him and he still did it. But yeah, he's amazing for that, but he won't get you the 3-star. That's why you need the Tough Luck and the Stealth Elf. So as we then move into B8, as you can see, I've cleared it on this account, but I can't auto it. I can't 3-star it. I just need more damage on my units. So we had a look at my Tough Luck earlier and the runes. The runes are fairly decent. I still really want, like a 4-star rune at this stage is not enough there. But I can't find a good attack rune. At her stats, she still wants flat. Once she's at max level and +5, I think she does want percent. So Tough Luck, it really doesn't matter whether you have flat or percent once she's 6-star. The margin that they're going to do is very minimal. So if you have a higher level rune, just put whatever you have on it, and that'll basically do. So yeah, so she's very decent, but just a little bit away. And I'd also like to power some of these runes, these 6-stars, up to 15 just to get the extra stats. Very important, those stats. But as you can see, my Stealth Elf is lacking massively, only on 4-star runes. Everything is a 4-star, so Air Server just caught up. Yeah, so she's very lacking in the damage and the survival, so my Stealth Elf is trash. So I'm just, on this account, I just need to farm B7 a lot more, get some better runes. And that's the other thing I want to mention. It's not the fact that you get these units, you get them at that star level and they're going to do it. You really do need the runes. So don't think it's going to be, I'm going to get to B6, farm it for an hour, and then I'm going to move on to B7 and then to B8. It will take a long time. To get to B8, I do think you need basically half 6-star, half 5-star runes on your units, powered up to at least +12, to actually get it done reliably. Like I said, I managed to clear it on this account, but B8 is a big step up from B7. B7, I think you need basically where I'm at, except I don't think you need the 6-star rune here. So I feel like if you got the Tough Luck on full 5-stars at +12, you'll probably be right for B7. Don't quote me. You might need 1 or 2 6-stars, which you can. You can't get them till B7. So yeah, full 5-stars, I reckon you'll be right at +12. You might have to make one of the attack ones up to +15 just to get the damage. I didn't actually take screenshots of when I managed to 3-star it and stuff like that, but yeah, this is sort of the range you're looking at. Obviously, take away these 6-stars, put 5-stars, and that should be it. Sorry for the ramble on that one. But I just don't want to get all the messages saying, I've got these teams, I've got them at these stars, and I'm on full 4-star runes, and they're not doing it. You do need those. You do need the better runes. Runes are everything. Obviously, my Tough Luck too. If I had a set of 5-star strike runes, so get the extra 25% attack. That would do massive amounts for her damage as well in this build. But like I said, I had really bad strike runes and she had really bad attack, so I just had to mix them up to get the stats that I have now. As we move forward, okay, so that's that done. What I might do, I just wanted to show you this account just to show you that, you know, those are the sorts of stats that can do it. I'm going to jump over to my other account now to talk about moving into B9. Okay, so here we are on my main account on the pre-release server. The next units you're going to want to build is there's two you're going to have to farm for. The first one being Whamshell. Now, Whamshell, he's available from Scenario. Let's just go double check because it has changed in the recent update. I'm pretty sure it's Scenario 9 on easy mode. There you go. You can farm him there. Basically, because B9 is going to be a fire boss, you'll want water units to sort of counteract that. Whamshell is just a fantastic support unit. I've done a video on him as well, but we'll quickly go over the skills. Skill 1, good endurance reduction. It has a 1 mana cost, which once again, awesome for mana efficiency and gives your whole team a defense up for 2 turns. And then his second attack is a single target attack that does massive damage based on his defense and also does attack down on all enemies for 1 turn. It says on the target, but it does all enemies. And then he's got a passive, which gives you a 30% chance to get a shield at the start of the turn. The shield really doesn't proc that often, but these 2 attacks give great mitigation. You've got a defense buff and an attack break for your team, which is awesome. So here's that next one. For runes, you're just going to be putting him on defense. This one would ideally be defense as well, and then HP. As you can see, I've got full 6-star runes on him at plus, most of them at plus 15. To do B9, that's pretty much where you're going to need to be. So you're going to be farming B8 for a long time before you get to B9, and then you're also going to have to farm up 2 units. So B9 is a long way down the track. Also, B10, I don't think there's anyone that is actually I don't even know if anyone's even beaten B10, let alone 3-starred it and farming it. So this thing will only go up to B9 because that's where everyone's at. Obviously, as soon as we get more info, or as soon as I can clear B10, I will be doing videos on that. So that's Whamshell. He's the next one. After that, you're going to want Boomer. Boomer's a fantastic unit. He's a bombing unit. Basically, just like a standard attacker, you want attack percent and attack percent on these ones. He's got really high base attack, so percent's key. You really want that strike set. He uses bombs, so they're based off attack. You don't need crit rate or anything like that on him. It's just flat out based on his attack. He's also awesome because his second skill, this thing has a massive multiplier, does great amounts of damage, and gives your team an attack buff, which is fantastic. His third skill, we don't really use that in farming the dungeons, so we don't really have to go into that. But yeah, he's got the attack buff and the bombs, and that's pretty much it. So these two on full 6-star runes, you really do want the full 6-star runes, plus 15 pretty much. That's where you want to be. You can do it with those two. I did a strategy guide on how to actually get the 3 stars for it if you want to check that out as well. But yeah, those are the next two that you want to farm, and they will get you to B9, but you will want that 6-star broccoli guide to team up with them, and they can do that really reliably. So just also, I don't actually have my runes on my Tough Luck on this account. I think the runes are now on this Cinder. So these are the runes that I've been using on my... Actually, I think this one was not. And yeah, so I think I had these 2 runes as the 6 stars. I had this one as the 5-star there. And I only had a 5-star here and here when I was farming B8 on on this account with my Tough Luck on those runes. What is going on there? But yeah, so just to give you a rough guide, that's the sort of stats that my Tough Luck had. She had less crit damage, a little less crit rate. I did do her on a crit build, even though the Diminish is based off attack for Tough Luck. I had her on a crit build because it also helps. It made the crits heal as the heals crit as well. So that was just a little glimpse at what she used to look like stat wise. Before that, obviously the HP was a bit lower as well. But nonetheless, we'll do a quick recap now of the progress. That pretty much gets you to B9 farming. Once again, it's not going to happen overnight. It takes work. But we'll do the quick recap. I'll put some slides up on the screen for this recap, and then you can just have a look at it. So the general progress would be clear part 1 of the quests with Stealth Elf, Hot Dog, and Blades. Just whatever star level they're at when you do it. It's fairly simple progress, that quest part 1. You'll basically clear it really easy. Then you'll get Enigma, and you'll put him in your team. And then once Stealth Elf, Hot Dog, and Enigma are at about 5-star Unawakened, you should be able to 3-star B6. They can also clear B7, but not too reliably, so that's when I'd be looking at using Tough Luck for that B7. Moving into that, obviously B7, the 3-star on manual, I recommend just using Stealth Elf and Tough Luck. Tough Luck really wants to be 6-starred and Awakened. Awakened is a must. Definitely recommend doing the 6-star before you awaken her once again. And then for the B7 farming, I'd throw in that Blades, depending on how good your Stealth Elf and Tough Luck are. The Blades just adds that security net. It will slow down runs, but he will make it safer, and really you just want to clear it first before you worry about speed. So that's the safe mode for farming after you've got the 3-star. Then after that, we move into 3-starring B8 on manual. It's pretty much the same thing as B7. For B8, just 3-star it using Stealth Elf and Tough Luck. You can also maybe throw Blades in for this one to focus some aggro, but not too important. But then when you go for the safe runs on B8, you can throw that Blades in there again just to take all the aggro from the waves. And if he dies, it doesn't really matter. The other 2 will take the boss. That should be fine. But yeah, it is very much a rune requirement. You need some decent 6-star runes on at least your Tough Luck to be able to do that B8 farm. I definitely think that's required. So you will farm B7 for a while. And then after that, when you're looking into B9, which is as far as we can get at the moment, to clear B9, it's just Whamshell and Boomer on full 6-star runes. Both 6-star Awakened is a must. And then when you want to safe farm B9, you can put anything in that last slot with those 2. I normally just look at something with a leader skill, something like Crypt King. He's got an attack power leader skill. Basically just look at your units, see what leader skills you have, and throw something in there. If you have another unit built that you think might be handy, you can try that too. But it basically comes down to be just try anything, mix it around with your team, and see if anything can make the runs faster or safer. And that is basically the early progress in a nutshell. It basically leaves you with only 3 units that you have to build from the start of the game until you're farming B9, and that is Tough Luck from Scenario 1 on Easy, Whamshell from Scenario 9 on Easy, and Boomer, who is available from Scenario 6 on Normal and Hard. So that is it for this video, guys. Let me know if you like that sort of thing. I do have other ideas about Nat 5s that you can use for different strategies. I might talk a bit about those strategies in my reroll video when I talk about what Nat 5s to go for and why I think to go for them. But those are untested theories, so I only wanted to make the more in-depth guide on a theory that I know works, as opposed to ones that I'm just speculating. So that'll be in my next video. That'll be out before global launch as well, so I'll get that out and you can check that out. But for now, that's it. So thanks for watching the video, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.